Okay, I got my phone, I got my laptop, and I got my books for the trip.
Son, what do you think you're doing?
I'm packing all the things we need for our trip. Our wonderful trip to Hawaii.
No, it's our trip to Florence, Italy.
No, it's Hawaii with the beautiful beaches and everything.
No, let me retell you, it's our trip to Florence, Italy. Let's dive right into the glorious city of Florence with its High Renaissance. The High Renaissance was marked as a renewed emphasis upon the classical tradition and a gradual attention to figural forms that then became the style later known as Mannerism. Art during this time was the most exceptional artistic production. Most art historians state that the High Renaissance started around 1495 in Rome and ended in 1520 with the death of Raphael. During this time of High Renaissance, there were two important buildings, the Uffizi Gallery and the Vasari Corridor. The Uffizi Gallery is one of the most important museums and one of the largest known museums that hold a collection of priceless works from the period of the Italian Renaissance. The Uffizi is one of the first modern museums and was officially opened in 1865. The Uffizi began being built in 1560 by architect Giorgio Vasari to accommodate the offices of the Florentine magistrates, relating back to the name Uffizi that also means offices. The biggest key point to this building is the eternal courtyard, which is a long and narrow stretch that opens to one end that creates the space in between. Many historians say that it was treated as a regularized streetscape of Europe, but the painter Vasari saw it from a different perspective. He saw the length of the eternal courtyard as an admiring piece that matches the facades, with its continuous roof cornices and unbroken cornices between each story. As you look at the building, it was very simple geometry with large archways that open and lead you through it into a courtyard. The insides of the Uffizi was has a lot of natural lighting from the large proportion windows from the pieces of the art on the walls. Fun fact, in 1993, the Sicilian Mafia carried out a car bomb explosion and damaged parts of the palace. The blast destroyed 5 pieces of art and damaged another 30. Some of the paintings were fully protected by the bulletproof glass on the building. Another one of the Uffizi Gallery was once home to the Mona Lisa. When it was stolen from the Louvre and was recovered, it was hung temporarily in the Uffizi. Next is the Vasari Corridor, which has a direct connection with the palace to the Uffizi Gallery. Don't fall asleep on me, we're just getting to the good part. So for the Vasari Corridor is 280 feet long passageway that connects the Uffizi Gallery to the Pitti Palace. Nowadays, it still connects the two buildings, but is set up as a small museum now. The entrance to the corridor is located on the first floor within the Uffizi Gallery behind an unmarked door. It is a covered walkway that starts at the west corridor of the gallery, heads towards the Arno River, and then raised up by huge arches that follows the river as far as the Ponte Vecchio, which makes the corridor actually go over top of the shops on the lower level. This path created a monumental urban footpath that took the absolute ruler into the historic heart of the city. One key thing was that this pathway went through the interior of the church of the Santa Felicita that you can see as you're going through. The pathway is very simple, with simple geometry and arches like the Uffizi. The long, narrow pathway makes it feel like you're in another dimension since it's quiet and silent. Well, fun fact, the corridor was used by Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini during the visit to Florence in 1938. It was particularly destroyed by Nazi troops during the occupation in 1944, when some parts were used by the resistance to connect the two sides of the Arno River. In conclusion, we have a lot to see while we're in Florence, Italy. Do you think you're ready? Those are only two of the sights out of many we'll see.
I think so. There's so many to remember, but once I experience it, I think I'll understand it better. Good, now let's be on our way to Hawaii!
No, Italy.